Hello, everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to talk about an experience that is universal but always feels incredibly personal. We're talking about what to do when you don't get the job.
I just got the email an hour ago. After careful consideration, we've decided to move forward with other candidates. It's like a punch to the stomach. I thought the interview went so well. I spent days preparing, and now, nothing. What did I do wrong?
That feeling is completely real, Mark. And I think the first thing to know is that almost everyone asks that same exact question. But maybe the most useful question isn't, what did I do wrong?
What other question is there? They chose someone else. That means someone else was better. It's a competition, and I lost.
I understand why it feels that way. It feels like a test, and you got a failing grade. But that's a story we tell ourselves. The real pain of rejection often comes from that story, not from the event itself.
What do you mean, a story? It's a fact. I didn't get the job.
That is the fact. The story is what you believe that fact means about you. Most people hear no, and the story they create is, I am not good enough, or I am not smart enough, or I failed.
Yes, that's exactly how it feels. A failure.
And that feeling is what we need to look at. Because what if the company's no wasn't a judgment on your worth at all?
But how can it not be? They judged my skills, my experience, my personality in the interview, and they decided it wasn't what they wanted.
Let's start with a different idea. Most students believe rejection is a sign of failure. They believe that if they were better prepared or more qualified, they would have avoided it. So they spend all their energy trying to prevent rejection from ever happening.
Of course, no one wants to be rejected. It's a horrible feeling. You try to be perfect, so they have no reason to say no.
That sounds reasonable. But this is why that belief quietly fails them. Because trying to avoid rejection is like trying to avoid the rain. You can carry an umbrella, but you can't stop the weather. Some things are just part of the system. In any competitive process, rejection is simply inevitable.
Inevitable? So you're saying it doesn't matter how good I am, I'm still going to get rejected sometimes?
Exactly. Think about applying to university. A good student might apply to 10 different schools. They know they can only attend one. They expect to receive several no's. Those rejections are not failures. They are a predictable part of a smart strategy. Getting a job is the same. Rejection isn't the opposite of success. It is a necessary step on the path to success.
I never thought of it like that. A necessary step. But it still makes me want to figure out what's wrong with me so I can fix it for next time. My mind is just replaying every single answer I gave in the interview.
And we can get to that. But first, let's look at that impulse. The belief is, I must find my mistake. Many learners believe this because it feels empowering. If I can identify my flaw, I have something to control, something to work on.
Right. If I can just fix that one thing, maybe next time will be different. It gives me a sense of hope.
It does. But here is the problem with that thinking. You can never truly know the real reason you weren't chosen. Maybe another candidate had 5 more years of very specific experience. Maybe someone inside the company was promoted. Maybe they decided to change the role completely. When you blame yourself, you are guessing, and you often guess wrong, which damages your confidence for no good reason.
So I should just not try to understand it? That feels wrong too.
We can try to understand it, but from a different perspective. The goal isn't to find what's wrong with you, but to understand the fit. A better way to think is in terms of alignment. Alignment. What do you mean? Imagine you have a key. It's a brilliant key, perfectly made, very strong. You try to open a door with it, but the lock doesn't turn. Is the key a bad key?
No, it's just the wrong key for that lock.
Precisely. It's not about good or bad. It's about the match, the alignment between the key and the lock. A job search is the same. The company has a very specific need, a very specific culture, a very specific team. You have a unique set of skills, experiences, and a unique personality. The interview process is just seeing if the key fits the lock. A no doesn't mean you're a bad key. It means the alignment wasn't there at that exact moment for that specific role.
So it's less personal. It's not Mark isn't good enough. It's Mark's skills don't match this specific lock right now.
Exactly. It separates your value as a person from the outcome of one application.
Okay, I can see how that helps. It lowers the emotional temperature a little. But then what do I do? My first instinct is to just delete the email, close my laptop, and try to forget the whole thing ever happened. Just move on.
That is such a common reaction. The belief is, I should move on as quickly as possible. We believe this because we want to escape the uncomfortable feeling. It seems strong and resilient to just put it behind us.
It does feel stronger than sitting around feeling sad about it.
In the short term, maybe. But when we just run away from the experience, we lose the most valuable part of it, the information. We carry the unexamined pain into the next interview. A better way to think is that we can review the experience, but we must do it like a scientist, not like a critic. We need to be objective.
Be objective. How? It feels so personal. How can I not be emotional about it?
You allow yourself to feel the emotion first. You don't deny the disappointment, but then you create a little distance. Think of a professional sports team after they lose a game. What do?
They watch a video of the game.
Exactly. Are they watching it to feel bad all over again?
No, they're looking for what they can learn, where they can improve. They're analyzing it.
They are being objective. They are looking for data. You can do the same with your job rejection, and there's a simple, professional way to do that. It involves a very short, polite email.
You mean I should reply to the rejection email? I never do that. I just assume the conversation is over.
The conversation for that role is over, but the opportunity to learn and maintain a professional connection is not. You can send a simple note that says something like this: "Thank you for letting me know. I really enjoyed learning more about your team. If you have any feedback you'd be willing to share about my application or interview, it would be greatly appreciated as I continue my search. I wish you and the team all the best."
Wow, I would never have thought of that. It sounds so professional, not desperate or upset at all.
It shows maturity and confidence, and sometimes you will get an incredibly helpful piece of feedback. It turns a painful ending into a source of useful, objective information. And even if they don't reply, you end the interaction on your own terms, feeling professional and in control.
This all sounds logical, Sarah. It really does. But it still feels hard. What if the feedback is something personal, like you weren't confident enough? That is about me. And what if I do all this? I send the email, I try to be objective, and I just get rejected again and again. When does it start feeling so awful?
That's a very real question mark. The honest answer is that it will probably always sting a little. We are human, but it doesn't have to knock you down for days. The goal isn't to become a robot who feels nothing. The goal is to become more resilient. Resilient, I hear that word a lot. It's the ability to bounce back. And you don't build it by avoiding difficulty. You build it by moving through difficulty in a new way. Each time you handle rejection with this mindset, you are training your own resilience. You're proving to yourself that a no does not break you.
So if I get feedback that I wasn't confident, I shouldn't see it as I am an unconfident person?
Exactly. You could see it as objective data. In that specific high-pressure situation, my confidence did not come across as strongly as it could have. Now you have something concrete to work on. Not fixing a personality flaw, but practicing how you communicate your skills under pressure. It's something you can refine.
Refine. I like that word. It feels less dramatic than fix myself. It feels smaller, more manageable.
It is. So let's connect these ideas. The whole process is a system. We start by accepting that rejection in a job search is inevitable. It's not a personal failure.
Right, it's just part of the process.
Then, when it happens, we shift our focus from what's wrong with me to was there good alignment? We look for the fit, not the flaw.
The key in the lock.
Precisely. And to understand that alignment better, we act like a scientist. We take a calm, objective look at the experience and even ask for feedback.
That's the email, using the rejection to get data.
And by doing this, we take that data and we use it to refine our approach for the next time. We refine our interview skills, or maybe we refine which jobs we apply for. This entire cycle, this process, is what makes us resilient.
So the goal isn't to avoid rejection, it's to get better at using it, to let each no make me a little bit stronger, a little bit smarter, so the next one doesn't feel like a verdict. It just feels like information.
Exactly. You start to see it not as a setback, but as part of the engine that moves you forward. You can become more resilient because you have a plan for this inevitable event. You have a way to make it useful.
The disappointment is still there, but it's quieter now. It doesn't feel like a final judgment on my future. It feels like a single step.
And that change, right there, is the one that matters most. Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here with us for this conversation. If there's a topic you're thinking about or a specific professional challenge you're facing in English, please let us know in the comments below. We read everyone.